I saw this yesterday. I thought it was interesting from Jeff Schwartz. He's a pretty good follow for Oregon fans, obviously former lineman, does some film breakdowns and all that kind of stuff.
I think we tried to get him on a couple weeks ago. He ghosted Swigart.
Oh, he didn't even respond. The Schwarzenator didn't even get back to you, huh?
I don't know if we're duck enough for him.
You're not duck enough.
Well, I think you too.
You need me to reach out as the duck? You need me to?
I would actually love to watch you reach out to see if you get a response. Do you know him?
I don't know. I've never met Jeff Schwartz before. No.
I saw him at a Pac-12
We were at in school
day.
around the same time. We were both at Oregon around the same. I think he's a couple years older than me, but he was on that 2017 when I was a freshman.
He strikes me as he would have been guy holding you upside down as you did a keg stand.
Yeah, after a big game.
One-handed, too. Like, I'll hold you little
after
guy.
a Matthew Harper interception to seal the loudest I've ever heard Autzen Stadium in my life. But he had an interesting point on offenses because a lot of the attention this week, and I don't even think this is the side of the ball that needs to get talked about, but it is interesting because it's a good-on-good matchup, right? It's Oregon's defense versus USC's offense.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the deciding outcome of the game. I think it's the other side, but
I don't think it's particularly close.
Neither do I. But I am very curious to see how Oregon's defense handles. This is probably the best offense they played. That's, I don't want to be disrespectful to Indiana. I don't know what the numbers would bear out, but I think from a number standpoint, USC's offense has been better than Indiana's this year.
It's
right?
one of the highest rated offenses in the country.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
300 passing yards, 200 rushing yards a game. They're top nearly every category. And there's this fear about Oregon's defense of their inability to rush the passer. They don't have a lot of tackles for loss. They don't have a lot of sacks. And he went through their last 3 games that they've played against teams who attempted passes, essentially. So the Wisconsin game was a no-counties because they couldn't throw the ball either way, and it was in a monsoon. But against like normal elements in a passing offense, Minnesota, Indiana, and Penn State the last 3 times, the average time to throw in those 3 games against Oregon, you know how quickly Minnesota got rid of the ball on Friday night, what their average release time was?
2.4?
2.25 seconds. Catch, throw, catch, throw, catch, throw. Because they know that Oregon's got a decent pass rush, right?
Sure.
Indiana, we mentioned it going in. We talked about that being an advantage for Mendoza, 2.52 seconds. And then Penn State, where they were able to generate a little more pressure and had some sacks against Drew Aller in that game, which at the time felt big. They were 2.77 seconds.
Yep.
And he uses the stat of Maava in his last 3 games. His average release time is just shy of 3 seconds for USC's offense. And so just something to circle and note of, can you generate more pressure? I know it doesn't seem like a lot, 2.25 to his 2.94, but almost an entire second, that can make the difference between generating that pressure and making a negative play and not being able to get home, and they throw an underneath route and get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's not going to be any pushback by me that USC's offense is going to get some points and is going to move the ball. This isn't one of those games where I think you go in Monday if they are to win the game, and we go, coming up next, is the Ducks defense a concern? It's the USC's offense is good, and everybody with a brain that's watched college football knows this. I really, truly do not believe it is close in any way. The matchup is the other side. It is absolutely USC's defense against Oregon's offense. USC, sure, going to move the ball. I don't know how many points Oregon's going to score. I think it's kind of interesting that we're assuming they score 50 points. It could be more what Conley says, a 30 to 20-something game, right?
Do they play the Iowa game plan? Do they just come out and say, we're going to pound the rock, milk the clock, you limit
Well,
possessions for you?
So the line right now is 10 at Galen
keeps going
and
up,
the
yeah.
total points is 60. So they're predicting a 35-25 win for Oregon.
Right around where Connolly's projection was at.
And if you go through and you look at some of the metrics of games of note on USC schedule, because I'm not picking up the patsies here, the Michigan State game, who cares? You games of note. Iowa last weekend, for example, rushed for 183 yards. They're 5th in the conference. They average 176 per game. They rushed for more yards than they average going into the game. All right? Michigan game is probably their best performance as a team
without a doubt,
against a rushing attack because Michigan's 2nd in the Big Ten. But where did they play that game?
It was in L.A.
Okay. Notre Dame against USC's defense. How many rushing yards did they have?
I don't know off the top of my head.
306.
Ooh, yep.
Okay, Illinois, when they played Illinois and Illinois is ranked and had a little bit of buzz going for them early in the season, Illinois, who is very middling of the Big Ten, they're 12th in rushing offense, ran the ball efficiently against USC. Yeah. So I just kind of look at this and I understand why Maava and Lemon, and you're worried about these cats, right? Like there's reason for concern. This game is not won by USC unless that defense proves they can slow the run game down and make Dante beat them and limit Dante on big explosive plays.
Yeah.
I don't have a track record of them being able to do that. So I mean, it tells you where I'm leaning on a Tuesday, and I don't think I'm going to switch much go Friday.
A lot of big money is too, because the line has climbed already over 2 points in 48 hours.
Look, we talk all the time about sports in general when we have opinions, and we say, well, they can't do it or he can't do it until they do it.
Yeah.
That's what I am with USC and big road games. Show me you can actually do it, and I'll believe it. I'll give it some thought. But until I see it, I do not buy, and I think absolutely the matchup for this game is their defense against Oregon's offense. The other side, sure, USC's offense is potent. It's dangerous. I've also seen it be limited.
Sure, at times, yeah.
And
they had a rough first half against Nebraska on the road. Notre Dame at times bogged them down.
Yes, and so I'm sure they're going to move the ball and get some yards and score some points, but it's the other side, man. It's not even close a contest of what side is the most important for this game.
Last note on that, too. It was interesting. I hear comments a lot about the Oregon-Indiana game, and Indiana's offense. Indiana controlled the entire game. They deserved to win. They've had a phenomenal game plan. It worked out. You know what Indiana's yardage total in that game was?
Ooh.
It is the high yardage total that Oregon has allowed all year.
I'm going to say 288.
Okay, a little bit north of that. It was 321, I believe.
All right.
And Oregon had more yards than that in the first half as an offense against Minnesota on Friday night than any game their defense has allowed this year.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting note. I'm excited for that side of the ball in that matchup because, again, it's good on good, but I'm 100%. It all comes down to can USC's defense get stopped. So more on that game as the week goes on. Ryan Abraham, good stuff from him. It does look like, by the way, for Duck fans, I'm tracking it like a hawk because I'm going to be down there on Saturday. It looks like the weather's going to hold out and be okay. Should be dry, a little chilly. Perfect 12:30 day for football in November.
You follow that stuff. I was going on what you said yesterday.
And the weather reports for a while has said rain, and now it's starting to back off a little bit, or maybe later in the evening, overnight kind of rain. But during kick time, it should be pretty solid, at least as of now. Knock on wood. Long ways to go.